You know, it's a little difficult because I mean, Paul McCartney's obviously had almost 29 years more to build on his reputation than John Lennon got.
Yeah.
John was always sort of my favorite Beatle. I mean, because he'd just tell it like it is, you know. But you know, Paul is a bit more of the, or not a bit more, a lot more of the diplomat. So I mean, over the years, I suppose Paul's music, only because he's now into 3 more decades of producing music than the others. George, I like a lot of George's too. And you know what? Don't discount Ringo. Ringo has a huge amount of. We'll go over and look at the Ringo CDs, and he's got some great tunes. You know, and Ringo in concert he gets everybody going. You know, and if you ever watched any of your Ringo videos and stuff, now I'm sure you'll all know this one, right? You know, and he has this thing that, you know, I'm Ringo, who am I? You know, Ringo Starr, and you know, you're not, all right? It would be Double White Album. You see, because I was only 13. So you had by that time I had a paper route and stuff, so I mean, you had the chance to, you know, buy a few things. Once you get out and get working, then you can go, okay, well, you know what, that's nice, and that's nice. And then now, once you get a few things paid off, you can go crazy. There was other records that came along, you know, that were like non-Beatle, but then you started buying back catalog from, you know, the Double White Album, and then you couldn't wait for the next one, you see. And Apple Records, when they formed Apple Records, and that Apple looked just so fresh and clean on the label, then you get into, well, I should have all the apples, right? So then you started buying the solo stuff outside the Beatles. And so then that's probably when it, you know, the Beatles stuff started to outweigh the other stuff. Then you kind of went, well, this is probably a collection. But first and foremost, it was a record collection before it was a memorabilia collection. And then it's kind of, you know, aren't they cute? You know, I mean, how can you resist that, right?
Yeah.
So, guys with dolls, you know, it's not, you know, when you it's embarrassing in a way, but at the same time, I mean, there's one set, 2 sets. 3, 4, the Nodders is 5, so there's probably 5 or 6 dolls in these sort of collections. Well, I think that they really kind of outlined and earmarked the era. I mean, they really did it, you know, for the 60s. And now you look over the CD collection, I have a tremendous amount of, you know, blues, soul, you know, and other rock. I mean, so, but I mean, I think that the Beatles just they just put their stamp, you know, from '64 right through to '70. I mean, they just went, boom, that's ours, boom, that's ours. You know, it's almost like a dynasty. You know, the Stanley Cup. It's gone like from '64 to '70. Nobody owns this place but us, right? Although there was lots of great music, you know, and the Beatles were influenced by lots of great music, you know, during that time, but. You know, overall, I think that they just put the stamp on the 60s. So that's what I really, really like about the band itself. Now, the fun part about the Beatles over other groups is that you get all the memorabilia with it. And continue to get memorabilia that even backtracks the era. You know, like all that Sgt. Pepper stuff and the Yellow Submarine stuff. It's just great, you know. Ooh, a little globe, look at that. Boing, you know. And, you know, a little heater on the little thing, and you go, well, that is neat, I'll have one of those. You know, so that's what you don't get out of the other bands. You get the records or the CDs out of the other bands, you don't get the memorabilia. With the Beatles, you know, you get, look at the Dinky Toys, the corgis over there. Those are neat, and all boys like Dinky Toys. So, you know, I'm thinking, I'll have a set of those, right?